Big Mom's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. It is I, the mama, and I am here with my little lizard today.
Hi.
And we are covering Sister Wives season 18, episode 1, the new episode of the new season. A lot of people are speculating it might be the last season. Um, thing about this episode is a lot of recaps, and stuff like that, kind of going over what happened in the last season and kind of catching everybody up again. Um, it starts out, the family's been in Flagstaff for about 3.5 years now, and everyone is saying the family is strained.
It feels more like the family is over.
Yeah?
At least the family part. And them all together.
It's so crazy because there's so much going on in this episode, and it goes back and forth between Christine being super bubbly and happy that he isn't her problem anymore, and Janelle, who is sad about Christine leaving but supportive, and also in a really funky place with him. And then, of course, poor Mary has just been like, the third wheel forever now, not even included really as part of the family.
Well, I think she's kind of, more like, kind of accepted that, and she's kind of more like like, when they talk with her, it's more like she's an outsider view of everything. Like, she's a fly on the wall, but almost like she's not even a part of it.
Well, because she's really not. I mean, emotionally and everything, they have distanced her so much from the main family that she kind of does feel like, and probably is feeling very much like it's just she's the outsider looking in.
She basically has, like, front row seats, but she's not included in the act.
To someone else's circus.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's why so far this season, I am digging Mary. Her sass, her lack of give a shit, basically that, you know, I see what's going on, I know it's going on, but I don't really give a shit. So it doesn't really get me all
Not
wound
my
up
monkey,
anymore.
not my circus anymore.
Right? But she's like still sort of on the peripheral of it all.
Also, I feel like she just kind of has given up trying to be included. She's just there to, watch and, like, make her comments, just be around.
And I'm gonna be real. What the hell is going on with nobody being allowed inside the house to film?
I feel like it's because they've got a lot. I don't even know. They got a lot of flack for poor, but the nanny and everything, and like the kids. I feel like they got a lot of new stuff. They got more nicer things, and it definitely looks better than any of the other wives' places. Like Janelle lives in an apartment.
Which I mean is a nice little apartment, but yes, and there's only her and Savannah now.
I feel, yeah, again, like, I feel like her place is so much nicer. It is very, telling.
You mean as far as the quality of things and the quantity of things inside?
Yes.
I got you.
Again,
Yes.
she has a lot of favoritism in the house.
And I thought it was really cute when they had Janelle ask Christine come over while she was in town to help her put a bookshelf together.
Right?
Um, and they said that they still consider each other sister wives, which I think is great because. But I have the same issue as Cody. It's like, can they be friends now because there's no competition with a man? Who gets more time? Who gets more money? Who gets more space? All that stuff. So it's not an issue between them anymore, and they can just be friends.
But honestly, that wasn't very much their fault because they were thinking about their kids most of the time with that. They were thinking about their kids winning time with their father, their kids needing this money for their stuff.
Yes.
And that's where their basically infighting started. But now their kids are grown.
The kids are mostly grown.
And now,
And now that Christina's gone, there is that lack of competition and
their
that
finances are now separate. They don't have to argue about anything. They're separate, but they can now just be friends. They could be sister wives, but just friendly.
and speaking of Christine, when Cody said that there was a conditional that they didn't have any intimacy, but it was that it was conditional intimacy when he was married to Christine.
And that's really freaking weird.
And that to me is you're using sex as a weapon and or as a punishment. It's like, oh, you want some nookie? Well, you better behave, little girl.
That is so freaking yeah. That's freaking creepy. Even like
And the fact that it had been like many years between him and Mary doing anything, and then him and Christine evidently went years without doing anything. Like, is he just got a limp dick and is like making excuses, maybe?
because like part of the plural marriage is that it's the man giving like the being humble and giving mercy to the sister wives by them choosing that he's gonna be the father of their children, but he's being like, oh, if you want me to be the father of your children, you're gonna have to make it worth my time. Not the fact that he's the actual father of their children.
Yeah.
I feel like again, like it's definitely shown now how much he's not talking to the other kids and everything, especially the other wives.
And Cody, I think, is the instigating factor in it all. His lack of interest and caring and
I'm pretty sure Robin doesn't have that conditional,
intimacy.
I'm pretty sure that's not an issue.
Well, because yeah, that we'll get to that. Well, yeah, down the road we'll talk about all that gross stuff. But here's some of the things that Cody had to say. Um, he thinks that the relationship is the woman's responsibility to come to him and date him. Like when he said was married, that he expected her to court him, and it was always about Christine needed to do this in order to have him be with her intimately, and but so everything was on them, and it's never his fault. And he does the same thing about the children. Like, well, you need to get your children in line. You need to get your children to talk to me. You need to
And
do
it's your
this,
children, not our children or my children.
right? And that's weird.
And like, and it very much shows about this has basically cracked Christine and how much he put so much stress on her for their relationship that she's just happy. She's like, I have this weight off my shoulders. I don't have to worry about this, this, and this, and this with him. And that's the reason why she's so happy, is because all that stress was him.
Well, she straight up says that, not her issue anymore.
Right? And the fact that she came so, again, you could tell from all these seasons about how unhappy they were. Even if they're like smiling, some good things happened, it wasn't very, Christina, this is like the first time I've seen her actually look truly the happiest I've seen her the entire freaking show. She is so elated.
Yes, you can feel the joy around her.
And that's so sad, honestly.
So is when Cody he says he feels the family is strained and it feels like civil war.
No dip.
He's tender emotionally, but he's been an ogre to everyone. Everything needs to be his way. Christmas and Thanksgiving, he's not going anywhere. He has a house and there is no compromise. He's not visiting everyone. Everyone must come to me. And it bothers him when anyone in the family acts like a victim.
Like he's been and robbing him like the entire freaking
Robin
time.
has been a victim since day one. And that's why he's been so protective of her and her kids. And it's so
But
I wanted to punch him in the face when he said that.
But in one of his other wives, who she's also supposed to be, protect and take care of, or again showing the victim like we're also being pushed out by this, and he's like, "Oh, that's stop being, basically stop acting that way."
And Janelle says that he used to be a super engaged father, but doesn't want to be anymore. And that's a lie. Okay, because the first 10 years of any of their relationships, and all the kids were little, okay, he traveled for work. He was gone 2, 3 weeks at a time, And so, of course, when he got home and he had all these cute little toddlers and little kids around, daddy, 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 of course he can be an engaged father on the short term.
Right.
It's really easy to play uncle whenever you're just there for a visit.
And that's what he was, basically just a visiting uncle. At that time, at least. And I feel like that kind of continued when Robin came around. Because then from the moment she came on the show, it was an obvious difference of where he wanted to be.
Well, but even then, when they were living in Utah and they had the big house, he could see all the kids every day, even if it was only because there are so many, you don't get to spend like hours with each one. You get to spend 30 seconds or a couple minutes with each one. And so it's easy to be engaged on the short term, you know. And then and that was only for about a 5-year period. Okay. And then they moved to Vegas where they were all in separate houses and have been ever since. So again, when you only have to be an engaged father for very short periods of time to different kids at a time, that of course you're going to look like an engaged dad when you only see those kids in that house every 3 days.
Right. And even then, I'm pretty sure he was, yeah, like the conditional intimacy. I'm pretty sure that also played in the factor of like with whose kids did he, visit more.
Well, yeah, because if you're not getting along with the wife, you're going to avoid that house, and that means avoiding those kids too.
And I feel like
that's just being a dickhead and selfish.
And we've pointed out before how much they babied him, and I feel like that's why they had to back off. They had to let him when he go with his demands because or else their kids suffered.
Mm-hmm.
And as a mom, you do it for your kids.
Oh, hell yeah.
She dealt with our biological father so many years.
For the kids. And then I left him for the kids. Well, then he says that Christine must get along with Robin, but he doesn't have to make an effort to get along with his own sons. It's the hypocrisy and the double standard here that I'm trying to point out.
They gotta do it for him, not the other way. He can't do it for them.
Right? And here's another freaking lie. Straight up lie. I'm calling you out, okay? Robin said that she was fooled in the beginning, evidently, and she thought that they were perfect and that there weren't any issues and all this stuff. And Mary straight up says, we had problems. We were a good family, but we weren't perfect. And if you didn't see the problems, then you must have had blinders on. And here's why I know it's a lie. In their book that I just covered, y'all, remember, in her part, it even says that she knew there were issues because of the stuff like before she came to the family, and then also her entrance in the family caused, more disruption. And she says that she would sit down and be the mediator, and everyone would go to her to help solve issues. And so she knew what these issues were. She knew. She helped supposedly help bring it to a resolution of some sort.
But that didn't happen.
No, so it's like, but now she's saying, "Oh, but I was supposed to be perfect. I feel like it was a safe place for my kids," and blah 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 blah.
I guess fixing the narrative to suit her, victim status.
Yeah, Mary said either they're good actors or Robin had blinders on, and I think it's
good actors.
No, I think that she's just lying that she didn't know that there were issues in the beginning.
Yeah, but good actors, they're lying about it. They're pretending.
And then again with the whole meeting and never letting anyone inside, it is so odd. I just had to point it out again. And then
again, somebody has to be in that house, like the way it looks or something like that.
Something's in there that they don't want us to see.
And it's super, again, like makes you nervous about what they're hiding in there.
But again, it's probably the fact that they have so much expensive stuff and going through divorces and separations and arguments. Again, you don't want people to say, "Oh, well, she gets all this. Where's mine?"
Right.
And okay, y'all may disagree with me. I may get jumped for this, but Ariella is 5 years old and still using the pacifier.
No, that's weird. That's still weird.
Okay, and then like, no, bad Robin, bad parenting, bad Robin. Sorry. And again, this was 2 years ago. She may be gone now. I don't know.
But-
But at the point, it's still too. She's way too old.
But still, it goes to the point of like he babies the Robin's kids the way he was, but he was so strict with the other kids too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, they get away with everything.
And he keeps talking about wanting to have everybody at his house for the holidays. Well, if no one's allowed inside with the film crew, how are you gonna have holidays there? That doesn't make any sense.
I think he just said that as like, oh, I'm letting people in our house, but they don't want to. That's the whole thing. He's putting out there, but it's a fake lore.
And he says that the first 20 years of their family was very dysfunctional. And I'm like, why did you let it go on so long, Mr. Head of the Household, Mr. Patriarch? Why are you such a loser that you couldn't help fix it?
Right? Like, you are also part of the family. You are he is the center of the family because he is the father of those children. He is the center of all this.
It's all his wiener.
And now he's wondering why his tires are rolling off because he's like, not taking care of the actual problems.
Exactly.
Like, one tire's gone, the other tire's gone, the other one's about to leave.
Yeah. And he's so focused on the one that is already gone that he isn't paying any attention or taking care of the relationships that he still had. And that is been historical Cody.
Again, I'm gonna point out again, like, just like he reminds me so much of my biological father.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I'm younger, I'm the youngest sibling,
Yeah.
but I pieced out a relationship with him quickly. I was like 12. About at 12, I could see, yeah, mom never talked crap about him. She only started telling us anything bad thing he did when we got older, after we cut him off on our own.
Yeah, I never wanted to be the reason that you didn't think well of your father.
I pieced out. I'm like, I have my own dad at home.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep visiting you because Mallow, my older sibling, loves it. I guess more love now. We've cut him off for a few years now. And she wanted a relationship with him. She was like grasping for it, and he kept focusing on me, the youngest, who was like, no, I don't want anything to do with you. Like, you can't just buy your way into my life. Focus on the child who actually wants you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
But again, it's all about control. Again, like, all of his control, and that's why he's so angry, is because his control is slipping.
Exactly. Yeah, and that the facade that they had put as being so great.
And honestly, again, like, honestly, that's why he's so mad and gets all this anger and everything about Christine leaving, is because she took the control away from him by her leaving on her own.
And doesn't need anything from him.
Yeah.
And that's the part that pisses him off.
Again,
he has no leverage.
Yeah, he can't make demands, he can't do all this stuff, because she's already pieced out. She's like, yeah, whatever.
Not my problem.
And I think that's why he lashed out later about the other wives, is because he's trying to get that control back by being the one to push.
Yeah. Well, and I really liked it when Mary said that even if none of them were in the faith anymore, that they would still be a family.
Well, yeah, they're all connected.
And she was talking. She looked kind of sad when she said how much fun that she and Christine used to have together. Like they'd, run around and tackle each other and just be silly and everything. And she seems very legit sad that the family has gone. And I, honest to God, despite her maybe midlife crisis she had with the whole catfishing thing, she still loves Cody.
Well, yeah, she's the one who stayed with him the longest, who the most crap with him.
But to be in love with a man who doesn't want you around, I mean, I can't even imagine the heartbreak. I mean, and again, this was a while back, so I don't know how she feels today. But at this point, when she was doing those interviews, you could see on her face and her eyes that she was really sad.
Yeah.
Here are some of the things that Cody has said. Life is heavy on him. He's tired. He's so discouraged. He's carried the torch alone a long time, and he's tired. These are all the things that Mary and Robin said about Cody, and this is what we mean about babying him. they think he's got all this stuff on him, but really it's the women who have been carried the family all these years.
He even admits that it's up. He said it's up to them to go for him. It's up to them to court him. It's up to them to try to make a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
He even admits that it's up to them. And yet he's like, "Oh, I tried my hardest. I don't know what I went wrong and everything." And it's like, you said it yourself, buddy. You said the whole thing. Like, it's up to them.
And the last thing about Mary is that I think that she and Robin trust each other, which is weird. And she said that even if she does support Cody, but he doesn't recognize it because of where their relationship is.
Yeah.
Like he could have at least had her as a friend all this time. Someone on his side, have his back.
But no, because he doesn't actually want her. He's not gonna take any notice.
She embarrassed him with the whole catfishing thing, and then that doesn't do in Cody land. So he doesn't even, like, he completely cut her off. And then we'll start where one more thing about Mary's sassy attitude I love. She says about the audience and public in general, you don't know me. You don't know what I believe. And when she was talking about Robin, she says, do I agree with everything she says or does or thinks? No. But, it's like she's being so much more honest, because I think her give a fuck is busted.
Again, like, she's realized that she's not actually, included in Cody's version of the family. So she's like, okay, well then I'm just gonna.
And for once, all these problems have nothing to do with her.
All she has to do is watch and make comments on it, and she gets paid to be on the TV.
Right? Now we'll end here with the little snippet of Cody and Christine's lunch. That's gonna be more prevalent in the next episode. And he says he feels betrayed after all that I've done for this marriage, and then to have her sort of shit talk me to the kids. In my heart, I never want to see her again. I want to spend some time hating her.
He sounds like a nut job.
Again, everybody talks shit, okay? And you can't tell me that with that many kids around, even if you're having a private conversation on the phone or something, someone's gonna overhear it.
So he literally just said he had conditional intimacy, but he's like, he put so much in the relationship. You had conditions to basically see your kids.
Have sex with his wife.
But still, again, that beats him over to see his kids.
And then he says that COVID was overwhelming for him. He couldn't sleep or breathe. He was on the fetal position on the floor, sobbing. And knowing Cody the way I do, I fully believe that he's a big fat baby. And okay, me and Dad had COVID.
Yeah.
Pop had COVID. And it was horrible. It really was. But to be sobbing on the floor and just because you're sick, I mean, how old are you, dude? Grow up. That's all. I mean,
I'm gonna say this. Dad doesn't do well being sick. Of course, he's the type who always wants to be doing something.
Yeah, being tied down is not him.
And even he
did not get out of bed for 8 days.
Right? But he wasn't crying. He was on the floor. He wasn't freaking out.
No.
He was just,
ill.
Sick.
And to end this episode, I think this is the perfect thing. Christine says, I'm not married to him anymore. So freaking awesome. And I could not agree with you more, Christine. God bless you for having the ability to get out and having the fortitude to do it. And
I think the moment she, again, put that separation between them two, she realized how happy she was to not have to deal with him
and all his drama.
And she's like, again, the weight lifted off of her of having to deal with all the years. She's like, this is the best day of my life.
Right?
I want to do a TLDR at the very end because we talked about COVID. Just because we called him a baby and all the COVID and being sick, we do realize that COVID killed millions of people. COVID got millions of people in the hospital, and millions of people are still dealing with the effects of COVID. This
But
was not
he
just
obviously did not get it like that. We know
well,
that.
yes, we're just
And I was not demeaning or dismissing anyone's COVID experience.
we're just talking about how dramatic he's being. Again, COVID is still an issue. We just want to let everyone know that because all of us, Mom is still dealing with the effects of COVID herself.
Yes, the long COVID.
Yeah, and so
Yes, I was not trying to demean anyone or dismiss your experience, but
we just want to know we're just talking about Cody and his.
quoting to him, no one's ever had COVID as bad as him ever.
Yeah, we're just talking about for his experience, not everyone else's. Yeah.
Yep, good catch. Thank you for clarifying that, Lizard.
This is just telling everyone here. Though, if you do want to tell us about if you did have COVID and you watch the podcast, put it in the comments. What do you think? Do you think Cody's experience was actually, valid? Did you end up on the floor crying, or was your experience more like I did not get out of bed for days, just like that? You can always tell us. We can talk about it on a different podcast.
Yeah,
See, COVID is still a thing that goes around.
absolutely.
Again, if you dealt with it, give us your experience on it. What do you think?
Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging in here with us for season 18, episode 1 of Sister Wives. Come back for episode 2 real soon. Bye, y'all.
Bye.